And she was just like, listen, I'm every woman. I'm all of them all together, word to Whitney. And I just love that because it's why do you have to try and box me into this quirky girl category? Like, quirky girls can't like nice dinners.
Signal check. How's your weekend been? What's your signal saying this week?
I think I'm like 2 bars. It's creeping up. To be fair, today I started the day on my walking pad. I was like, right, let me do 30 minutes on my walking pad, watch a show, and get it going. So that has helped the energy levels. Will's brother came around yesterday, which was really fun. He brought the dog as well. And so we all just sat on the sofa. We watched rugby. I watched them playing games. We had pizza. The dog was just so cute. And it was really nice. We were just chatting shit and chilling, really. I did actually start my Saturday by going into town or like this retail park near me because I was just on the hunt for frames. I want to start putting up some prints around the house, like different rooms in the house. And
Mhm.
so I was just on the hunt for that kind of vibe. So I did a lot of window shopping, a lot of looking around. And actually, I have my speaker. I want to bring my speaker right up to the top of the episodes because I went to this shop called, I think it's called Saucerine Green. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've been to one in Windsor and I know they've got one in Brighton as well. And the
Mhm.
one that I went to was in Harlow. It's just a shop of like cute bits, is what I would characterize it by. There's like little trinket trays, little prints, things that are like craft bits. And they also have this section of like silver jewelry, and I'm a silver girl. So it very, very cute shop. I really liked it. Just to go around, look around, and I think I left with like 2 things, but it's just a cute shop. Um,
Nice.
so yeah. I would say signal wise though, 2 bars I think is pretty mid-level. What about you?
Cool. I love a trinket. Yeah, I'd say probably a couple, one or two as well. Chill weekend. Yeah, just boring life admin kind of tasks throughout the weekend, but overall pretty okay, I'd say.
Another thing that happened this weekend is I finally finished His and Hers, which I know you brought up last week, this show on Netflix.
Yeah, so like we said last week, we're going to talk about His and Hers, which is a limited series on Netflix. It's like a thriller. Yeah, I just wanted to hear what you thought about it. It got a bit weird at points, and it's one of those typical whodunit kind of storylines with a twist at the end. I have mixed opinions on the show, but I just thought that might be an interesting one to talk about.
Yeah, I was excited to hear about it because a lot of people online were like, "Oh my God, this is a really good show," and it was. I thought some of the acting was great, but I don't. And me and Will were talking about it, watched it together, and we were like, "I don't know whether it's the writing of the show that I'm just not loving, but there are bits where I just found myself either cringing or just being like, oh, this is taking me away from like the gripping parts of the story." Especially when Anna and Jack were interacting at times. The scene where they were in the graveyard and it was really intense and emotional and it was dark. I can't remember which episode it was. That was really good. But some of their interactions I just found a little bit cringe isn't the right word. It just took me out from it a little bit. And I couldn't work out if it was the actor that plays Jack or if it was sometimes the writing was a bit weird, like the dialogue. But I thought overall it was good. We kind of finished it in like over 2 days. And I get why people were so hyped about the twist at the end. But because people had already said, oh, the big twist, oh, the big twist, I think at the back of my mind, I was already thinking, oh, okay, what can this twist be? What's going on? And I had kind of guessed a bit.
Yeah, I think they made it.
Um,
I don't think it was that big of a twist, to be fair. I think it was quite obvious when they kept the foreshadowing throughout. But it was for me, it was less about the twist and more about the concept and the story and that as an idea. But His and Hers, I don't even think it was that great of a show. I think the writing could have been better, but I think it was almost supposed to be a little bit, it felt kind of exaggerated at points. Like there was a scene where it actually just felt like a comedy. And I think it was where Tessa Thompson's character's fighting one of the other characters.
yes,
But
that was so a lot.
yeah, so just to give some more context on the show, it's about a man and a woman who are both from this small town, and someone ends up murdered, and they're found in the middle of a forest or something. There's a body found, and both of the man and the woman are both. I don't want to spoil it, but we did give warning last week. So it's about they're a married couple. One of them is a detective investigating the case, and the other one is a journalist, kind of telling the story of the case and investigating in their own way too. And they both suspect that the other person had something to do with the murder. And just the way the story unfolds is you're kind of trying to figure out, was it him? Was it her? I feel like just because of the way the show is positioned, it's obvious that it's not going to be either of the two of them. But it gives flashback scenes from the two of them growing up and that are relevant to the story that plant different suspects throughout as well. And there's this one particular scene where from that moment, I'm like, okay. Before this, I thought it was so the woman, the her in the story. She is Tessa Thompson's character. She's the journalist, and her mum has dementia, and they keep referencing, oh, she's going on these night walks. The victim as well, who has the first person who's been found murdered, she is connected to the couple because Tessa Thompson's character, whose name I can't remember, like went to school with her and they were in the same friendship group and the girl was somewhat of a bully. So there's a connection there. But then Tessa Thompson's mum keeps going, leaving the house at night time and coming back all confused. And they have started suspecting her of having dementia. She hasn't been to the doctor to get it diagnosed, but that is kind of the assumption based on her behavior. But yeah, for me, I thought that it was definitely the mum until there was a scene with a flashback scene back in high school. So Rachel's the victim that dies, and there's another big suspect called Catherine, and they went to school together, and she was not part of the friendship group. She was that typical high school bully thing where they say comments to her that seem like they're nice, make her feel like she's part of the in group, but then actually are doing horrible, horrible things to her. Like, just not even, it just goes past typical bullying in a high school. It's like they give her a drink of apple juice and they're like, drink this, and she drinks it and it's piss. Things like that are just horrible. So from that moment where we see the flashback to her drinking the piss, I was like, oh shit, it's probably Catherine who killed Rachel because that's the kind of thing, that kind of relentless tormenting could easily kind of snowball into years down the line, wanting that kind of violent revenge. And then they made you think that it was her and takes you to the end of the story thinking that it's her until the really, 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 really satisfying and delightful twist. Also, I quite liked that ending. I was like, that is my idea of justice.
Yeah, I agree. I think as well, what confused me though at the end, first of all, it scared me when it was the reveal because Anna, Tessa Thompson's character, is like reading this letter that her mum has written. And then suddenly the voice changes from Anna reading it out to her mum's voice. And the way that the camera pans to the mum and the mum's looking at Anna's face. And I don't know, there was something about it that was really like creepy. I guess that
Mm.
was the point. But yeah, definitely satisfying. But I was a bit like, not because I was surprised, just because of the way that they had presented it out. It was quite scary.
I think after seeing the real reason why all these murders were happening, because it happened to Rachel first, and then two other
Yes.
members of that friendship group were also murdered quite brutally. But seeing the real reason why it happened, when that twist came, I only saw it as something I didn't. Maybe it was meant to be creepy. I felt like this is beautiful and lovely, even though it's like all these people are dead now. But it was like mothers looking out for their daughters, that kind of female solidarity, trying to, I mean, yeah, trying to put right something that was so, so horrible that happened to her. But yeah, I find it interesting that she maintained that as kind of her secret. She never let her husband in, so the detective, she never actually told him the true story about what happened when they were younger. Her mum knew. She told him a made up version of the story where Catherine was actually the victim and not her,
Mm.
which I found very interesting as well. I don't know what that says about their relationship. Clearly, there was already a breakdown in trust between the two of them. whether it was that she thought that it implicates her in the story or what. Because she knew that it wasn't Catherine who that had happened to, but she didn't know that Catherine wasn't the person who did the killings. It was, and that was another weird thing was that when it was revealed that Catherine was the murderer, and she obviously wasn't, but when the story started taking us down that path, Catherine just started acting really suspicious. Catherine and her husband. That's a bit of a plot hole for me. Like, why was she acting so much like she killed everyone, and never actually said what the whole reason that they'd lured her to that home, to their home was? It was, yeah, there was the whole middle part of the show wasn't very enjoyable for me. It was just, I don't know if it was because I was trying to watch it all too quickly, but it just became quite weird, kind of dragged on. But then the ending, I think the feeling that I got at the end made it seem like the rest of the show was better than it was. But I did enjoy it overall, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd definitely still recommend it, but it wasn't one of those where I was just like, oh my God, what's next? Oh my goodness, what's next? I do love a Netflix limited series though. They need to
Same.
do more. They really need to do, they need to not make it so that when you're on Netflix scrolling through, it's so hard to find a good show unless there's like a trending limited series that's really good that people are
Hmm.
talking about. It just feels like sometimes you're paying for that monthly subscription, and it's like, okay, once a month there's a good thing that everyone's
Hmm.
talking about. Okay, well, like his and hers, the mystery of who done it, I've got some neighbor updates on the craziness that's been happening in my flat. So if you've listened to our past, oh, I can't even remember the episode number it was now, but I talked about my neighbors and how I've lived in this flat since March, and there were some weird, crazy, disgusting things that were happening in my flat that we were like victim to. So one of them being someone shat by my car, another one being a mystery note left outside my front door. This time, outside my front door, there was a big potato. I can't say it without laughing. There was a big potato left, a big like raw potato, not peeled, nothing, just one singular potato with Sharpie writing all over it saying Willy, Bum Bum, Poo, Smelly. And my boyfriend's name is Will, if you haven't, I've mentioned him so many times. And he was the one who opened the door to this thing. And the first thing he sees is Willy, and he thought it was like directly to him.
Oh
So
gosh.
someone has left a potato, a defaced potato with all of these like Willy, poo poo, bum bum, literally the most silliest words around the potato just outside our front door. So I was like, right, this is weird. This is scary. This is now feeling very, very targeted. What is actually going on? Because my flat is so convoluted to get. It's a huge flat. There's so many different flats. To get to my door, it's so long and hard to get to unless you know that you want to go to that number. And
Mm.
unless it's like you're my Royal Mail driver or my Uber Eats, because they have been around the flat a lot, and my spending habits means that me and my Royal Mail delivery man were tight. So he knows where to go. So unless you really know the flat layout, it's hard to know.
So it was literally
It's
on your doorstep.
on my doorstep, the literal door to get out of my hallway.
What the hell?
Spooky, spooky. And what's with the potato? The whole thing is mind-boggling. So I go on our flat Facebook group because it's one of those where there's a Facebook group because it's so big and there's like a managing office and people often write things like, "Oh, we're moving out. Do you want furniture?" That sort of thing. And then I go on there to see if anyone had gotten it or is speaking about it. And someone else did. So someone else had a picture of a potato, and theirs was smaller, and theirs only said bum or something like that. I
What the
can't
hell?
stop laughing. This honestly feels like I'm in uni halls. Like, what kind of prank is this? We're all adults paying our rent, some of you paying your mortgage here, and you're going around leaving defaced potatoes in front of people's front doors.
Well, is there a
Like,
student flat or anything?
well,
Or
it's
young
big enough
people?
that, yeah, it's big enough that there probably is a wide array of different types of people. So there probably are young people, there probably are uni students. I don't know what uni's close to here. But yeah, someone was like, oh, someone's just left this potato outside my front door. Then Will went round just around our floor to see if he could spot any more potatoes. And sure enough, he saw like two. He took a video of him walking down the hall and he sees two different potatoes. So that actually, funnily enough, made me feel more at ease.
Oh
Because I'm
yeah,
like,
for
okay,
sure.
fine.
It's not just you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just us. They're not specifically targeting us. This is us. This isn't a series of, okay, we're going to poo here and then we're going to leave this scary note and then we're going to leave a potato and then like, so that is fine. But I'm just like, when is this going to stop? And what they're not linked, which is good, or they could still be
How
linked.
do
Who
yeah.
knows? Will obviously still thinks it's the upstairs neighbors, and he was like, he might confront them, but I don't know that we should confront them because it's been left outside loads of people, so it takes it away from them that it takes it away from it being them as the prime suspects. But they do
Why?
seem like little menaces. I don't know. I think Will's mentality of it being the upstairs neighbors is they've got a thing against us because they make a lot of noise upstairs. Will's confronted them once, even though he was very, very nice about it. He just thinks maybe they were just a bit like, oh, who's this old man coming upstairs and telling
Yeah.
us off for just living our lives and having fun and
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah, to be
So
fair, that still could be it still could be that there's a number of maybe there's a number of different houses that or flats that tell them about the noise. Or I don't know, very strange if it's not connected. Not that it's like a targeted thing, but like it's silly people that just do silly things and that happens to be one of the flats that is included in the pranks a lot, especially because I don't know, I'm kind of buying that potential storyline there.
to be fair, I don't have any other theory. So that could well, that right now is our best theory that it is these like, they're kind of youngish guys. Will said he could see them doing it. So I've never met them or seen what they look like. And to be fair, they are, since they live above us, they are in this sort of block of ours. So they would be able to easily plant the potatoes, plant the note,
Hmm.
plant the shit. Like, so it is a very good theory, to be fair.
Hmm.
Because the alternative is that it's just three separate
Yeah.
situations that are so difficult to even explain.
Hmm.
And that seems less likely than, okay, it's just these idiots that think they're really funny, but are clearly just bored and silly. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think it's more less likely to be three separate people, especially since you're describing the people in your flat as like everyone's grown and normal, paying rents, paying mortgage. I feel like it's yeah, probably less likely that it'd be a random, just one of the families randomly decided to do this three different times or three different families. It's just weird. Potato is very strange.
Potatoes is so strange. I can just imagine them going to the local supermarket and buying, and it's the red skin ones. So it's not the cheapest potatoes ever. It's the ones, I don't even know what the brand of potato, but I could just imagine them going into like Tesco or Sainsbury's, getting the red skin potatoes, thinking, right, okay, this is gonna be really funny. Let's just like, are you serious? Is this, is this what we're doing? I don't know.
That is crazy. So you guys trying to get to the bottom of it, you just
I'm so done with trying to theorize and think about all of the different things. Like, even if we ask around, some of these people are so unhelpful. Like, I can't believe that guy that has access to the CCTV still couldn't locate the footage and tell us who left a huge dump next to our car.
mm.
So we've just kind of looked at it, talked about it for a bit, and then just left it by the side. And I'm just gonna try and keep that. I'm just gonna wait for the next thing, to be honest.
Yeah, don't bring it into your house just in case.
Oh my God, it's already here.
Oh, I thought you said you left it out.
No. We've left it to the side. We've brought it in. I took a video of it. We talked about it for ages, and now it's just on the side. I won't peel it
Oh,
and boil it or anything like that, but we've just brought it in.
God.
Yeah,
I'd
so
love to
that's what's
know.
going on.
That is crazy.
Anyway, by the time this episode comes out, Valentine's Day is 3 days away.
What are you doing
And
for Valentine's Day?
so Will's going to be away as of next week. So we're actually celebrating today and we haven't booked anywhere yet. We were thinking somewhere near us.
Hmm.
There's a really, really nice steak place that we went to a few weeks back, which was gorgeous, like some of the best food I've had, but it was so expensive. It was so expensive. So, we're thinking there is this other steak place. Well, we're thinking that we want to go to somewhere near us, but we want to try somewhere different, which is a bit of a risk because we've been to that really nice steak place that I said is expensive. We've been to another like Brazilian steak place, which was delicious. They go around and like cut pieces of the steak for you, like little slithers, and you don't even realize when you're so full from all of the steak and the meat and the lamb. And I think they do chicken wings as well. And then there's like a buffet of hot food that you can have as like your sides. It's so nice. But we waddled out of that place. But these were really, really nice. All the places that we've tried near us, we've loved. But so basically, long story short, we haven't decided anywhere yet. We haven't even made a reservation. But because it's not actual Valentine's Day, I think it'll be fine for us to just walk in, us two,
Hmm.
and figure something out. But yeah, we're just gonna have a really nice, slow Sunday, go for a nice walk, maybe grab a coffee out, play some games, and then get ready for dinner. And then we'll go out for dinner. And that's how we're doing it.
That sounds lovely. That's
Yeah,
nice.
excited.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, so this year we're just doing an activity and dinner. I don't have the full details yet, but I'll be able to share everything about what we did next week after we've had our Valentine's Day. Yeah, just looking forward to getting dressed up and trying somewhere new and having some quality time.
Ooh, so it's a surprise.
No, it's not a
Let's
surprise.
get
I just don't know. I'm not clear on the details. I need to double check. But I'm curious about this Valentine's Am I the asshole that you've got?
Okay, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I didn't think she was the type of girl to want me to buy her stuff for Valentine's? I'm a 29-year-old male. My girlfriend is a 25-year-old female, and we've been together since March of last year, so almost a year. She is not super materialistic and not really into going to fancy restaurants or spending money on designer clothes and such. I often cook dinner for her and go out of my way to make her feel special and loved. However, the other day she brought up Valentine's Day and asked me if I had anything planned. I have never been one to celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't think I need to spend money just to prove I love my girlfriend. I told her this and thought she would agree with me, but she said that she would like it if I got her a gift and if we went to a nice restaurant. I'm working on paying off some student loans, and she knows I don't have very much money to spend on gifts and fancy dinners. She is an artistic, sort of quirky girl, and honestly, I did not think she was the type to want me to shell out the big bucks and take her to some overpriced, crowded steakhouse for a manufactured holiday. It really made me view her differently. I told her, I'm surprised. I really didn't think you were that kind of girl. She went quiet after I said that, and then later accused me of judging her for wanting to celebrate Valentine's. We haven't brought it up again, but I can feel she's a bit upset about it. Am I the asshole? And I just picked this one because it's the classic thing that people say about obviously Valentine's is like made up or whatever. I actually don't even know the origin story of where Valentine's came to be, but it is very much like a lot of brands use it and now like spending money and doing all those things and big gestures and whatever. So a lot of people are like use that same sentiment of oh I love my girlfriend or my partner every single day. Like I don't need this one thing to prove one day to prove to them that I love them and to shell out, as he said, the big bucks. And that thought process just annoys me. But what do you think?
I just don't get where he's got the expectation that he has to shell out big bucks. I get the that Valentine's Day, just like every other holiday, has been kind of used as a corporate for corporations to market themed activities or gifts or things like that. And probably there is a little bit of a premium added to that. But I don't think that's the demand here is that you spend a lot of money. It's more that you just make an effort on the day. That whole argument of oh, I do it every day, so what's the point? Why do I have to do it on this one day? I saw a TikTok of this guy telling a story about his friend who his friend's in a long-term relationship, and this guy was talking to his friend about his Valentine's Day plans, and his friend was saying how he's not doing anything for Valentine's Day. It's stupid. It's just a dumb holiday, and he shows his girlfriend how much he loves and appreciates her every day. So he's not going to participate. And this guy who's making the TikTok said to his friend, like, okay, but just be silly then. Just do this silly, stupid thing for your girlfriend that you're supposedly in love with. If it means something to her and it's just one thing that you can do that's going to make her feel appreciated and seen and loved, then why not do it? And then I saw a comment that was so true. It was like, and why is there such a resistance to it on the basis of the fact that you do it every day? It's like, why would you then choose this one day not to do it out of protest? Like, what's the point? If you do it every day, including Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
There's no
Exactly.
issue with that. And then this whole framing of like being that kind of girl, being this type of girl, like, why does it have to be someone who's vapid and materialistic and superficial that wants to celebrate Valentine's Day? I mean, I don't think it's the be all and end all. Like it's not, but it is just something small that you can do, like book a dinner, do a picnic, cook a meal, buy a card, buy some flowers, buy some chocolate. It's so simple that I don't really understand the movement against it. It feels quite, especially with this Am I the Arsehole, it feels quite misogynistic.
I completely agree. I don't get that like real strong resistance to it. And the framing of him being like, she's artistic and she's quirky and she's just so different to that kind of person that would like what a nice meal on Valentine's Day. Him also bringing up his student loans and stuff. Yeah, like she's not trying to put you under any financial pressure. I know she says it'd be nice to have a dinner and a gift, but you also know her and you can make something. Like if she's artistic, she would probably really appreciate you making something, and then the dinner doesn't have to be hundreds and hundreds of pounds. It can just be something sweet and cute to say, hey, I love you. This is nice. Let's just celebrate.
And what is he really upset about? Is it that he's got debt and he feels like it's pressure, or is it that it's the mainstream stupid thing that only stupid people are interested in? I don't know. It feels like it's because he can't afford it at the moment. He's resenting even the expectation.
Yeah, because to say that it really made me view her differently is so over the top.
Hmm.
Like, she can still be all these things that you described her as. And I just feel bad for her in that moment of you turning to her being like, I really didn't think you were that type of girl.
Hmm.
Like, I love that TikTok where this girl was saying, she was on the phone to her male friend and she was doing her makeup and they were just chatting. And he was like, oh, I like the way you do your lip liner. Some girls do it so that it looks like a mustache or something stupid like that. And she checked him in the moment and was just like, I think she made a joke about how he doesn't can't grow a mustache or something like that. Like she just checked him straight right there and then. And she was just like, listen, I'm every woman. I'm all of them all together. Word to Whitney. I just love that because it's, why do you have to try and box me into this quirky girl category? Like quirky girls can't like nice dinners on a Valentine's Day. Like, come on,
And
don't
don't
be
try
so
and
silly.
control me by making misogynistic comparisons to this caricature of the other woman who is just somehow shallow and not artistic and not. Who is this girl that loves Valentine's Day? She's not deep, she's not artistic, she's not intelligent, she just likes her dinners and her gifts. Like that's when you make these kind of fake images in your mind and then compare the person you're with against them, it is manipulative. It's like, oh, if you act like this or you want this, then you're like this kind of person. When actually she just wants to go out for Valentine's Day. She just wants a little gift for Valentine's Day, which a lot of people do. And the opposite, women who really make a big deal about how Valentine's Day isn't a big deal and blah blah. It is just appealing to that male narrative, and it is just another pick me type of posturing. Like you really would hate to go out for Valentine's Day and get a nice meal or a nice gift. Come on. Or just anything that shows that you've thought of someone, a handmade card, a little. I think my gift to Alex for Valentine's Day last year was a photo album type of scrapbook thing that had like vouchers in it and just pictures of us of our dates through the time that we've been together. That if I had
Mm.
received that didn't cost me much at all. Get the photos printed, get the book, just take some time and do some gluing and sticking and arts and crafts. If I received that, I'd be so happy with that. And then invite me over, make a nice dinner. Like it's not taking a lot. I think where the story becomes that you're spending a lot is like, where did you get that from?
It feels like an internal pressure that he's put on himself because all she said from what he has put down is that
I think she just said she'd like a gift on Valentine's Day.
and goes, yeah, and go to a restaurant. That was it. It was gift and restaurant. The gift doesn't have to be a Birkin Kelly. It doesn't have to be really nice shoes or designer perfume. It can be exactly what you said. I love those types of gifts because that just shows like you know me well, you put this effort in, just imagining the person sticking and gluing, cutting out all these cute memories. Like that's so intentional and lovely. So he's just added that pressure, probably because he's thinking about all his other external views of what Valentine's Day is and what he's seen online or whatever else he's thinking of. But
Also, I feel
yeah,
like
I just
a lot of women, all they really want is just to anything that shows that you see them. So if there's someone who won't like a sentimental gift, don't get them a sentimental gift. The
mm.
sentiment has to include the fact that this is something that you specifically would like. But you can't go wrong with a jar or a book or something of compliments, specific compliments to them to this person. So many women just want to be seen and to know exactly what it is that you love about me in detail. And I can always reference that thing and go back. One of the gifts that Alex got me for Christmas this year was a jar with folded up compliments or like things that he loves about me. That honestly, it's like if you got a book and it was all the good things that people have said to you or said about you or think about you that you never have known. If you had a book of compliments throughout your life, that is the ultimate gift, I feel. So don't be worrying about spending all this money, but don't just cheap out and not plan anything and not be intentional, but then the day before put something together with you can tell when no effort or thought has gone into something. I think that's the most important thing. I don't 100% agree with it's the thought that counts because there needs to be some execution there as well. As in, don't do this is the most annoying thing to me. Don't be like, oh, I was going to get you this, or I was going to do this, but then this. Oh, I tried to do this, but you didn't do
oh
it. So don't
hate.
try and get credit for something that you just wanted to do and you didn't follow through.
Literally hate that. Yeah, that's so funny. That actually just triggered me because my ex used to do that all of the time. We were young, to be fair. I'll give him a little bit of grace because we were what, 19? But
Hmm.
he would always say that same thing of like, oh, and I was gonna do this, but no, he got me this necklace. Don't know if this was Valentine's Day. It might have been my birthday, and it was the most fugly ass like old maiden type necklace. Like credit to him, he did actually get my color right because I do like silver, so it was a silver necklace. That was the only thing he got right. Genuinely, it was so ugly, and I was just like looking at it not making it obvious that I didn't like it. But then I think he obviously knew and was making all these excuses of, oh, I know what your style really is, but they didn't have this big medallion one in stock, or oh, I also wanted to get you these shoes with it, but they didn't have it. And I was just like, just stop.
Then you have to
Just
be like,
step
oh,
back.
thank you. Oh, yeah, that would be really nice. Thank you. No, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You didn't even get the next best thing. Go to a different store, try and figure it out. Don't tell me that you got me something that you knew I wouldn't like, and then think that you padding it with what you wanted to do is going to make it better. Just say, do you know what? More thoughtful there would have been like, I know that this isn't the exact style that you like. I was having a look at different options, but here's the receipt if you want to change it out.
That's what it is. Give me a gift receipt. I honestly looked at it and thought, I think he bought this for his mum and panicked and it was a regift or something
Oh gosh.
because like for me, I wear jewelry a lot, and you can, if you notice me and you see me, then you probably can see the type of jewelry that I like. It's very like chunky, big, silver, that kind of vibe. It was not it at all. I actually remember when we broke up, trying to take that necklace into a pawn shop, and the woman looked at me and was just like, "We do it by weight. I don't think you're going to get very much from this." Um, not even from a bitter place, but I think I was just like, again, I was young and I was just like, right, and yeah, I can make some money from this breakup. But clearly that wasn't the case. I don't even know where that necklace is now. But yeah, listen, guys, just buy the cards, just buy the flowers, give the chocolates, book somewhere, just do it. It's not that deep. It doesn't take anything away from you. And you're also enjoying the meal, are you not?
Yeah, exactly. It's also an experience for you.
Yeah.
Have you been on any disappointing Valentine's Day dates or just dates in general? Do you have any like shit date stories? Because I was thinking about this. People often say that Valentine's Day can be quite disappointing. I think similar to birthdays where there's a lot of pressure or it's a lot of hype built around the day, it can let you down on the actual day. I haven't had
Mm.
any I don't have any Valentine's Day horror stories, I don't think. But there is one bad first date that I've been on. And actually, as far as bad dates go, this one isn't the worst. It was more just that the guy just revealed some terrible personal views, which made it really awkward. And then, yeah. But
Oh God.
basically, I went to, and also the restaurant was shit. I hate ping pong, but that's where we went. I think it's closed down now. I don't know if there are still some branches around, but
Oh my God, I hate ping pong as well.
it
It's so
has
bad.
yeah, it offers way more promise than it actually delivers on. So it's like loads of different small plates, Pan Asian. Everything tastes like crap, like literally frozen food. Tastes like freezer, no salt. It's just horrible. Everything tastes bad. So there was that initially, and then the fact that he chose there and he said it's one of his favorite restaurants already, that wasn't going to
Red
work
flag.
for me. Yeah, exactly. But he came looking nice, dressed nice, very clearly cared about how he presents himself. We started the day and he was very charismatic as well, like really interesting stories, quite funny if I remember correctly. Like I remember having a decent time until he then brought up his ex, and which again I don't really get why people do this on their first date, but he brought up his ex and I can't remember what he was saying about her, but I was then prompted to ask, oh, what happened with you guys? Why did you break up? And he said they were together for a number of years, but they just disagreed on fundamental aspects, like belief wise. And he said things that he calls personality makers, so things that are quite fundamental to your character and your beliefs. So I was like, oh, what was it that you disagreed on? And he said she didn't think that being gay was a choice. So
Oh,
obviously implying that if he didn't agree with that, he obviously thought that being gay was a choice. And
oh
I
God.
was like, okay, well, this date is over. But I wanted to hear more about how he comes to that thought, like how he defends it. So I was like, oh, so you think that being gay is a choice? What makes you think that? And then he made this really, really terrible analogy. He made a really homophobic comparison to being gay and theft. And yeah. So basically, he said if he had his brought his wallet out and just left it on the table and then just walked away, walked around, moved around, and the wallet was just there for the taking. Anyone can take that wallet. Anyone, probably most people would have the desire to have the wallet, to take the wallet, but to actually act on taking the wallet is where it becomes an issue. So essentially, what he was saying is that most people, a lot of people have gay desires or have desires to be with someone of the same sex, but to actually act on those thoughts and sleep with a man or whatever, being in a relationship with a man, woman, depending on your gender, that is where the deviance comes into it. So for me, I was like, well, then that sounds to me like, what makes you so sure that so many more people, I get that obviously people in the closet, but for me, I was getting, are you like, is this like internalized homophobia here because you have thoughts about being with another man, but you're holding yourself back and you hate men who don't hold themselves back and can actually freely live the lives that they want to live. So I did ask him in a way that I was like, okay, but why do some people have those urges and those thoughts and other people don't? And I think he was being like, most people do, kind of thing. So I was just like, hey, this guy clearly has a lot to figure out on his own. So quite quickly after that, I was like, oh, I think I need to go home. He now insists on taking me home, and I don't. He's not driving. It's in. He's insisting on getting on the tube with me and going home, which
Oh
was really
God.
annoying because he was like, oh, where do you live? And I was like, Shoreditch, and he was like, okay, let's go. So he got on the tube with me, got to Shoreditch. We're at Old Street Station. I'm walking. We're walking, and it was around those times where Shoreditch was absolutely buzzing. Like if you were walking through Shoreditch at like midnight, 11 p.m., 1 a.m., anytime around then or immediately after all the clubs and bars close around 2 a.m., it's going to be buzzing. So I think it was like about midnight at this point. So walking down the street, and he was like, "Wow, it's really busy. Loads of people here. Like it's really vibey." And I was like, "Yeah." It's always like this. And then he was like, "Oh, should we want to stop and have a drink somewhere? And we could just have one drink and go home." And I was like, "Okay, as long as it's one drink though." And I also said it's really busy. This is literally it's going to be hard to find somewhere. But we did. We found this tiny bar that's literally the width of an alleyway. It was so tight. Everyone was so drunk. Obviously, it's midnight in Shoreditch. So we did manage to get a drink, but the whole time he was just complaining about how busy it was and how loud it was and how everyone's here. And I was just like,
Oh
let's
my
just go.
God.
I don't even want to be here. I don't know why you would insist on extending this date when it's clearly not going well. Anyway, eventually we leave and go home, and thank God for that. But the other date that I've had, I just remembered while I was speaking, was this one guy who just kept taking work calls during the date. And
Oh,
this was someone
what?
who was, I think I was at uni still, and he was like mid 20s, like in a big corporate job. And we'd literally met on the tube, like on the tube platform. I was coming home from a different date actually this day, and he came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, all of the stuff, the typical chat of lines. Can I get your number?" And then when we finally went on this date, I was a unserious like 18, 19-year-old girl, and he was like 26 years old in his big boy job, and he kept taking these calls, and it felt like, "Look at me, I'm so important." I was like, "You don't need now being in the working world." And I can't remember what he did, but it's not, you don't need to be on the phone every 5 minutes. He wasn't that important yet. He was literally entry level. I think he was just posturing and showing off. But
Yeah, there was definitely no one on the other side of that phone call, and he was
yeah.
definitely trying to make you feel like he was this Splash City
hmm
city guy.
Exactly. But yeah, those were my bad date stories. They're definitely not as bad as some of the ones that I've heard, but just in the moment, it's so awkward. I do like a first date though, because you never know what you're going to get. And usually it's something funny at best, puts you off of dating completely at worst. What about you?
I haven't had that many first dates, honestly. I remember one first date that, just as you said, put me off of dating. This guy was really awkward and shy. And it's fine, like we there were things that we could talk about, and we did have similar interests, so it was easy to speak to him sometimes. But the second we went to this bar in West as well. So that was already a kind of like, oh God, you're taking me out West. Like that's far out for me. So whatever, I've gone to West London now. We're sitting in this really nice bar type. It's more so like bar-y pubby. So we're sitting down.
hmm
On the walk there, getting on, chatting, all of this stuff. But now you get to the bar and he's so aware of everyone. Bless him, he might have social anxiety and stuff, but it was just suddenly really, really awkward. And we're sitting there and he doesn't really want to speak to me. And I'm trying to make conversation about the drinks that we're having or the fact that we're in West. We leave the bar and we sit in the park for a bit and we're chatting again. He comes out of his shell more and then we kiss. And then that's like the end of our date. It was fine. I'm walking away like, okay, I probably won't see this guy again, but it was fun to go on a date. And this was after my first relationship, so I was kind of like wanting to get out there.
hmm
As I'm getting home, I'm on the train or wherever I am on, he messages me saying, it basically felt like I was being broken up with again. Because as I said, I just got come out of a relationship, not
Hmm.
just, but I had come out of a relationship. I'm getting out there again. I had been broken up with,
Hmm.
and then now I'll go on this first date. Guy's a bit weird, bit awkward. And on my way home, you messaged me saying, "Hey, I felt like that kiss was really a lot.
What the hell?
Feels like, yeah, it feels like things were moving really, really fast for a first date. This was a lot for me.
Oh
Basically, I
gosh.
don't think we should see each other anymore." It was a really, really long text as well. And I'm thinking, has this guy even left the park yet? Like, we've not even really finished the day. I've not got home. You've not checked whether I'm even okay. I've gotten home safe. I'm literally on the way home, and you're telling me it's over because we
Was
kissed, which, by the way, was a
Yeah.
consensual kiss. Both parties bringing your lips forwards. It wasn't even passionate and huge and like sexy. It was literally just like a 2 second smooch.
What
I
the
couldn't
hell?
believe it. I couldn't,
Do you
but
think he
very
felt
strange.
he thought that you might be thinking that and he wanted to get ahead of it, or?
I think so. I think so. I think it was one of those where it was self-preservation because I was clearly like,
Hmm.
but also I don't know if I was giving off the vibe that I didn't want to see him again because I was really like trying to bring my personality out, trying to bring his out as well while we were in the bar. So it wasn't like I was. I don't know. I don't know
Who
with this
initiated the
guy.
kiss?
Him. He did. I think he just felt like, okay, so first dates normally we normally do this, and you
Mm.
should normally this is how you should do things. And he held my hand when we left the bar to take me to the park. So I was just a
Hmm.
bit like, you're doing all this stuff, maybe thinking that I want it or thinking that that's what first dates should be like,
Yeah.
or maybe it was his first time do it. I don't know. But I was just like, this is so weird. I'm not getting dumped twice in 1 month. Like, this isn't okay. From a guy that I didn't even care to
Exactly,
see.
exactly. It was a non-starter, it sounds like, from the off.
Completely. And then he ended up going out with someone that I know.
What?
Yeah. I saw on Facebook like long after. I was just like, oh, this guy is now going out with this girl that I went. Well, I don't know her. I went to school with her.
How did you meet him?
I think it was online. I can't remember. I can't remember. Not to sound ancient, back in the day, I don't know if we had.
Hinge.
We definitely had. Yeah, we definitely had Tinder. We
Hmm.
definitely had Tinder. Yeah, so maybe it was Tinder or something like that. But yeah, he went out with this girl that went to LSU. I think they might still be together.
Wow, no way.
I know. But I was like, oh, that's fine. There's someone for everyone. She must have enjoyed his quirks and his and their
Yeah.
pace was
I wonder what the first date was like. It's definitely giving social anxiety though, from what you said.
yeah, definitely. Bless him. I wish him well. But I did, yeah, I haven't I haven't really gone on that many first dates. Maybe that put me off for forever. And then
Mm.
like my first boyfriend hardly took me out ever. This was like he hardly ever took me out. It was ridiculous. I think we went out twice, one to the cinema and one to this taco place, and that was probably it the whole time we were together, and we were together for over a year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, those young relationships there.
Seriously.
I wonder if I'm in anyone's worst first date story.
Oh my God.
Do you have any red flags when you go on dates?
That's such a funny question to even think about. Oh my God, maybe I need to be a bit more introspective and have a think about that one. Um,
I think one thing that I do that's probably kind of annoying for men who are paying, especially when you're young, is I could never eat on dates. I think in general, not just dates, but like if I'm at dinner with friends, or if I'm talking to someone while I'm eating, it really is, I can only focus on one thing at a time when it comes to food. So I either eat very, very slowly or I definitely don't finish it. And I remember being out with this guy when I was like 17 or something. And we went to this Chinese restaurant, and obviously he just used his weekend money or whatever, weekend job money or his pocket money or whatever to buy this dinner for us. And I just barely even ate half of it because we were talking and I couldn't really do both things. So yeah, and I remember him being like, "Go on, eat it, like eat your food." Are you gonna leave that? Are you gonna leave? He kept asking me, and I was like, if you just eat it, you eat it, or it's going to waste. And I'm sorry.
Honestly. Or put it in a put it in a doggy bag and you take it because
Hmm.
clearly you're thinking about your the money spent. That's so funny that he kept referencing.
Hmm. So right at the end, I think when he realized that I probably wasn't gonna eat it,
Oh God. Wow, why can't I think of any red flags that I give off? Maybe I'm just perfect some
maybe
days.
maybe there isn't anything. To be fair, I think it's mostly men are just so weird on dates. And what would men really say is a red flag is if you looked a bit different in your pictures, or you had blonde hair in the pictures, but now you're a brunette, or you're a size 10 before and you're a size 12 now. Like just the most minor changes to your appearance, and they're like, "You're catfishing me."
Seriously.
But I hope you have a good time at your date this evening and enjoy your steak, whatever you end up getting. I will update on what my Valentine's Day date is next weekend. Um,
Yes, please.
that guy in the Am I the Asshole? I think we agreed that he's the asshole.
Yes, he's most definitely the asshole.
Comment below what
Definitively.
you guys think. If Are we missing something when it comes to Valentine's Day? Are there women out there who don't care about Valentine's Day and not from a pick me angle? Let me know. Yeah, and do share some of your worst date stories as well. I want to see just how bad this gets.
God, I know that there's going to be some doozies. Did you have anything that you wanted to put on speaker before we close off?
I don't have anything for this week, but next week maybe I'll have some good recommendation. For today, no, nothing.
Okay, cool. All right, then. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Make sure you comment and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're at Stay on the Line Sis. And if you want to email us your longer comments, maybe your worst date stories or your thoughts on Valentine's Day and the Am I the Asshole, you can email us on stayonthelinesis@gmail.com.
Yes, exactly. All right.
All right,
Well,
then.
that's all for this week.
Have a lovely rest of your day. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.